honestly, that kid's like maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. Probably a massive LeBron James fan. And again, don't ever jump out there and try to meet your heroes because you will be disappointed.
Something just shifted in the NBA conversation around LeBron James. And you could feel it instantly the moment that viral clip started spreading, because this wasn't just another highlight. This wasn't just another media take. This was one of those moments where the internet flips on you in real time. 1 second you're controlling the narrative. The next second fans are using your own words against you. And right now that's exactly what's happening to LeBron. The same fans who defend him every day suddenly started questioning him, mocking him, and even comparing him again to Michael Jordan in ways that hit a lot harder than usual. And the crazy part is it didn't even take a full game. It took one clip. The clip itself didn't look like a disaster at first glance. It wasn't some horrible turnover or an airball that immediately screams, "This is bad." It was more subtle than that, and that's why it blew up the way it did. It was about body language, decision-making, and the exact type of moment where fans expect a superstar to take over. Instead, what people saw didn't match the image LeBron has spent years building. And once that disconnect hits social media, there's no controlling it anymore. Because fans don't just watch the play, they interpret it. They turn it into a statement about who you are as a player. To be honest, it's something I haven't been able to master in my career. Going left with my mid-range, I feel really effective with that. Going right has always been a little like, sometimes my balance is off. Sometimes I don't know if I should fade on the shot or if I should go straight up and down. And it's always kind of messed with me mentally. Here's the part nobody is talking about. LeBron's biggest strength might actually be the thing that hurts him most in moments like this. His ability to think the game, to read defenses, to trust teammates, to make the right basketball play. That's what has made him one of the smartest players ever. But in moments where fans expect dominance, that same mindset can look like hesitation. And hesitation is the one thing people never forgive in superstars. Because when fans think of greatness, they don't think of correct decisions. They think of takeover moments. They think of killers. And that's exactly why this clip backfired the way it did. Because the internet didn't just see a play, they saw a narrative. They saw another moment they could add to the ongoing argument that LeBron doesn't have that same killer mentality as players like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Whether that's fair or not doesn't even matter anymore. Once the narrative starts trending, it becomes reality for a lot of people. And suddenly the conversation shifts from LeBron is one of the greatest ever to why does this keep happening? Melo will find your weakness immediately. He will know it 100%. And he'll keep it in his pocket to use it when he needs to use it. Right. LeBron will make it to where you're not allowed to play. Like you can't even be on the floor right now. We're going to expose it. Can't leave it in my pocket. Got to beat you now with it until you call a timeout. Right. This is where it gets dangerous because LeBron's career has always been judged differently than almost anyone in NBA history. Most players get evaluated based on what they accomplish. LeBron gets evaluated based on what people feel he should have done differently. If he passes in a big moment, it becomes a problem. If he shoots and misses, it becomes a problem. If he dominates, people expect it. If he doesn't, it becomes a headline. That level of scrutiny is almost impossible to escape. And this viral clip just dropped him right back into that cycle again. It happened in the 2020 finals when I played in the finals. And I had an unbelievable game in one of the games to close out the Heat in the finals. And I drove the ball, 2 or 3 defenders came, and I found Danny Green wide open for a 3 and he missed it, and we went to a Game 5 I believe or Game 6. You can take it every time. I take it every time and people like, why didn't you take the shot? There you go again. And you can already see how quickly things escalated. Fans who were defending him last week suddenly started bringing up old finals losses. Others started comparing him to Jordan again. Some even pulled up clips of Kobe taking tough shots in similar situations just to make the contrast feel more dramatic. That's how fast the internet moves. One moment turns into 10 different arguments and suddenly LeBron isn't just being judged for that clip. He's being judged for his entire career all over again. Here's the part nobody is talking about. This isn't really about one play. It never is. This is about the expectation that LeBron has carried since he was a teenager. From the moment he entered the league, he was labeled as the chosen one. Every decision he makes is viewed through that lens. Fans don't just want greatness from him. They want a specific type of greatness. They want dominance that feels emotional. They want moments that look like control, not calculation. And when they don't get that, they react. This is where young players usually make a mistake. They think fans care more about efficiency than emotion. But the truth is, fans remember how moments feel more than how they actually played out. LeBron might make the right basketball play 9 times out of 10. But if that one moment doesn't match what people expect emotionally, that's the one they hold on to. That's the one that goes viral. That's the one that gets replayed over and over again. They all are so different. The one I would say that is the hardest is LeBron. The reason why is because his 6 feet 9 inches, 260, and his Magic Johnson, Kobe. His like everybody. If he had Kobe's and Michael's mind, he could average 45, 10, and 10 every day if he wanted to. And honestly, part of this comes down to how different LeBron is from the players he's constantly compared to. Michael Jordan didn't care if the shot was the right one. He wanted the moment. Kobe Bryant didn't care if there was a better option. He wanted the responsibility. LeBron plays a different game. He plays a smarter game. He plays a team-first game. But in the eyes of certain fans, that difference will always feel like a weakness, even when it's actually a strength. This is where it gets even more complicated because LeBron has proven countless times that he can take over games. His hit game winners. His dominated elimination games. His carried teams through entire playoff runs. Those moments exist. They're real. But the internet doesn't care about balance. It cares about the most recent impression. And right now, the most recent impression is that viral clip. That's what people are reacting to. That's what's shaping the conversation. He's so smart. Out of the 3 of them, he's the worst scorer coming into the league out of the 3 and surpassing them. And once that conversation starts, it brings everything else back into play. The GOAT debate, the finals record, the killer mentality argument, the comparisons to Jordan and Kobe, it all comes rushing back at once. That's what makes moments like this so powerful. They don't just stand on their own. They connect to everything else people already believe. If someone already thinks LeBron lacks that killer instinct, this clip becomes proof. If someone already believes he's the greatest ever, they defend it. But the middle ground disappears. Here's the part nobody is talking about. LeBron might actually be a victim of his own consistency. Because when you've been great for this long, people stop being impressed by greatness. They start looking for flaws instead. They start looking for reasons to bring you back down to earth. And when they find one, even if it's small, it gets amplified. That's what's happening right now. This isn't about whether LeBron is still elite. It's about people wanting to reframe the conversation. And you can't ignore how social media plays into all of this. Back in the Jordan era, moments were remembered, but they weren't dissected instantly by millions of people. Now, every single play can become a viral clip within seconds. Every reaction becomes a meme. Every decision gets analyzed from 10 different angles. That environment makes it almost impossible for players to control their own narrative, especially someone like LeBron, who has been in the spotlight longer than almost anyone. This is where it gets dangerous for his legacy because moments like this stick. They get replayed. They get referenced in future debates. They become part of the argument whether they should or not. And when you're already in constant comparison with someone like Jordan, who has a nearly mythological reputation, every perceived flaw gets magnified. That's just the reality of the situation. But at the same time, this reaction says just as much about fans as it does about LeBron. Because fans say they want team basketball, but they also want individual dominance. They say they respect the right play, but they also want the dramatic one. They say they value IQ, but they celebrate aggression. And LeBron sits right in the middle of all of that contradiction. He represents a different type of greatness. And not everyone is comfortable with that. So now the question becomes bigger than just one clip. It becomes about how LeBron's career will ultimately be remembered. Will it be remembered as the smartest, most complete career in NBA history? Or will moments like this continue to fuel the argument that he was never quite as dominant emotionally as some of the legends before him? Because right now, the internet is leaning hard into that second narrative. And that's why this situation matters more than people think. Not because of the play itself, but because of what it triggered. It reopened debates that never really go away. It gave critics new material. It gave fans something to argue about. And it reminded everyone that no matter how much LeBron accomplishes, he will always be judged against a standard that isn't just about basketball, it's about perception. So now the real question is this. Are fans overreacting to one moment, or are they pointing out something that has always been part of LeBron's game? And more importantly, does it even matter at this point in his career? Because one thing is clear. Every time a moment like this happens, the debate doesn't get quieter, it gets louder.